Kelly peeling from the big deuce 3 in the same suit. And what a flop we have here. 9, 4, 5, 2 hearts. Kelly opening his straight flush draw. Aaron with 2 overs and the flush draw. Having opened from +1. And he decides to check back on this board. Oh my word. Have you seen a sicker hand? Straight flush versus nut flush. We are playing Texas Hold'em. These guys need to get themselves over to a cash game. Bad beats galore. 60k bet from Kelly into Aaron, who now holds the nuts. And well, he's bet 60. She's bet 16 to 65 on a card that should favor him. He does make the call. Deuce on at the end. Let's see how much acting goes on in this pot. Both cannot wait to get their chips in. Okay, he's going to size pretty big here, I think. Just targeting ace-X a lot. There we go, 175, just a shade under the pot. Now Aaron will do his best acting job before jamming. And when he gets snapped, he's going to assume he's won. There's no way he's thinking she has a straight flush. This is a sickening hand. He does move it all in. She gets it in.
Wow, you're a pro. That's it.
What the fuck?
I got it.
He's like GG. He's like GG. See ya. Get out of here. No tea time.
That was fun.
Of course.
Raised to 15,000 total. Pass. Pass.
That's Josh the Styler Tyler in seat 7, who's come to an inglorious end. But feel some great old TV faces here.
Yeah, I remember playing with Nick Slade when I first got into poker. He was always friendly. Hadn't seen him for a few years.
Check.
Of course, Annette,
Check.
you know, famous for being that youngest WSOP Europe champion. And then her televised poker career, she's always so aggressive.
14,000.
Yeah, she was like playing a cut above everybody else, I think, back then. She was playing so good, and there was not many other girls playing like her. And I think she was so aggressive. She was such a tough opponent.
This hand is a bit of a sort of weird for her, because here she's actually just sort of check calling, which isn't really a net at all. But the reason she got that low stack is from bluffing them all off against Slade. So now he's kind of returning the favor. And she's played this hand quite well, actually, because she'll end up maxing value out here this way.
This is obviously a tough call. She doesn't really beat much, just beats raw bluff. So.
And they're always tougher at the final table as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and it looks like it's a majority of a stack too, if not all of it. So, yeah, it's always hard to call when it's like most of your chips.
So not only can she bet, but she can make big calls with the best of them.
He mucked.
Slade trying to get the free showdown without showing his own.
Woo!
Little smirk there by Net.
Great call.
Everyone else is such a baby.
Kempa opens with the King 10 out of the hijack. Bicknell makes the call on the big blind with the King Queen of diamonds and flops a queen. Gut shot for Kempa. Reiner bets 45K.
Yeah, decision time. Typically, we see a lot of just check calls in this situation. However, I have noticed trends sort of shifting to where we have a hand like king queen on that texture, the check raise is incoming. Kristen elects to go with the sort of the bluff catch, conservative approach, check call. Let's see what develops. Jack 10 now gets there. Reiner having a 10 in his hand, certainly a candidate to maybe consider two-barreling, although it looks pretty clear to me like Kristen has a queen a lot of the time. Certainly she does have a 9 some of the time. Could we elect to fire 2 shells to try and get a 9 to fold out? King of clubs, also kind of a fun card for Reiner if he wants to try and represent a backdoor flush draw. If we were to bet 2 shells here. Here we go.
The
Sizable.
second shell is for 115,000.
Again, designed to fold out a 9. Queen doesn't really love it, but I don't think we're going anywhere if we're Chrissy B here with King Queen.
She will check call again. Deuce of clubs on the river.
Here is that backdoor flush that has appeared, and now Reiner ever continue firing 3 shells to try and represent that sort of holding.
385,000 in the pot.
I would love to see if he were to try and represent this thing, perhaps an overbet.
He's got 566K
There it is.
behind.
195.
Bignell does make the
Wonderful
call with the queens.
Chrissy B. She sniffs it out, sees through it. Wonderful pot there, Kristen Bicknell.
I believe Tony G, he had to win a heat to get to the heads up, and he thought it was all over. He didn't realize Jennifer Tilly was just going to crush him.
Yeah.
Couldn't read anything. 2 raises to 4,000.
I know Jennifer did well, played well.
You end up coming second in the Premier League poker this season. But yeah, Jennifer ended up making the final table off the back of this.
Yeah, I think Antonio played Scott Seaver in the other match, right, to get through.
Ah, that's the one, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like so gentle. I'm always so gentle.
Jennifer is underestimated. People do underestimate her. She does a lot of things well, and she can baffle you sometimes.
What I love about this is after the hand, she actually trash talks Tony G in Tony G style.
Keep a friend. 2 of hearts.
She's got that stare down going to a tee.
But yeah, it was best of 3. She'd already won the first one, and I think she just whitewashed him. This is about when Tony realizes he's in trouble.
6 of spades.
It was an intense week, that one, up at Asper's.
Yeah, there was long days. There was. I remember it was like I was at work again, going there like 10 hours a day.
I went really quick for my chips there. And then I thought, what are the odds that Tony has a 10, a jack, a 2, or a 6?
I don't know.
He hates it.
As the kids say these days, your range is polarized. You either have a monster, which would be a 2, or you have nothing.
I don't entirely agree with that, but I love the call.
Nothing calls. Good call.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And now she's
Too
zings him.
good.
It's hard to get a hand when your head's up. But then sometimes people get like quads and ridiculous things. That was one of those hands where you knew I didn't have anything, and I knew you didn't have anything.
Oh my God.
I feel like Phil Ivey. My nothing was better than your nothing. That's poker, right?
She's so happy about that.
Sure is.
Tony's livid.